can spend 2 hours with an AI assistant and they can recreate 80% of what I do. Am I even in the business anymore? You don't have a product problem, you have a business model problem. The barrier between I have a problem and I can solve it myself has collapsed. Composite Monetization Framework. Survive the next wave. There was a time when paying for software every month made complete sense. You found the tool, it solved a problem, and the subscription felt justified. But something dramatic has happened. A developer opens Claude Code, spends 2 hours and builds a custom tool that replaces a $49 a month SaaS. No bloat, just the workflow they need. A business owner discovers AppSumo or JVZoo and pays once, not monthly, but just once for tools that would otherwise cost $200 a month in subscription. A marketing team realizes their AI assistant handles 70% of what their content tool does, and that second subscription suddenly feels redundant. These are not isolated incidents. This is the new normal. People are not canceling subscriptions because those tools are bad. They're canceling because the subscription itself stopped feeling justified. The barrier between I have a problem and I can solve it myself has collapsed. And if you're building or running SaaS, this changes everything for you. 5 years ago, lifetime deals signaled desperation. Today, they have flipped the psychology entirely. The question isn't why would a company do a lifetime deal? It is why would I pay monthly when something like this exists? AppSumo and JVZoo sell SaaS applications for $49 to $299 one time. Tools that would normally cost you $50 to $300 a month. Even if the monthly tool is better, the math has changed. $29 a month is $348 a year. A $79 lifetime deal pays for itself in 3 months. The subscription isn't just competing on features anymore. It's competing against the concept of recurring payment itself. Once people start thinking this way, the default position shifts from I'll pay monthly unless there's a reason not to I will pay monthly only if I can't avoid it. AI coding assistants have turned non-technical people like me into builders. Someone with zero coding background can now say, I need a tool that monitors Reddit for keywords and notifies me. And 20 minutes later, they have a working script. No subscription, no monthly fee, just a tool that does exactly what they need. I've built multiple desktop applications for myself this way. Transcription tools, video interfaces, Reddit monitors, all solving problems I used to pay monthly for. I'm not a professional developer. I'm a business owner who can describe what I want clearly enough for AI to build it for me. That, my friend, is the new baseline. And if you run a SaaS company, you need to ask this question. If my customer can spend 2 hours with an AI assistant and they can recreate 80% of what I do, am I even in the business anymore? Because if the answer is yes, you don't have a product problem, you have a business model problem. The barrier to solving software problems isn't coding anymore, it's knowing what you want. I'll give you another example. I was paying $19 a month for Whisperflow, a voice-to-text tool. Now, everybody loves this and it works perfectly, no complaints. But one day I thought, why am I still paying for this? I spent 45 minutes with Claude Code and built a local version for myself. A Python script with a global hotkey. Press button, speak, text just magically appears. Once I had that, the subscription stopped making sense instantly. Not because Whisperflow failed, but because the problem it solved was no longer difficult enough to justify a recurring payment. And again, this wasn't about saving $19. This was realizing the core value proposition. I will handle complexity so you don't have to had suddenly evaporated. The complexity was gone. So what happens to the business model? Subscriptions work because software sat between people and complexity. You paid for things you couldn't build, manage, or maintain yourself. If you canceled, you lost something genuinely difficult to replace. Think Salesforce in 2005. Your options were either pay $100 a user a month or buy expensive on-premise software or build it yourself with a development team. The subscription wasn't just buying software, it was avoiding hiring developers, managing servers, handling updates, building integrations. All that complexity disappeared for a monthly fee. But here's what's changed. Most modern SaaS isn't solving complex problems anymore. It's packaging workflows. And workflows are now easy to recreate. The same APIs and infrastructure that SaaS companies use, Whisper API, OpenAI Cloud Services, are available to individuals. The building blocks are commoditized. If your value was, we built this so you don't have to, then you are in trouble. because now your customers can build it as well. Subscriptions only work when people feel dependent on the tool. High dependency software such as payment processors, email infrastructure, hosting, CRMs with years of data are good because canceling them would genuinely hurt. Migration would be expensive and risky. Low dependency software such as social schedulers or screenshot tools or text expanders, PDF editors, or even voice to text tools are easy to recreate. The moment someone realizes they don't need it, the subscription ends. Quietly, no drama, no complaints. And here's the problem. More software is sliding from high dependency to low dependency, not because it got worse, but because alternatives got better. This is why churn is creeping up even for well-run SaaS with great products. The churn isn't angry, it's just indifferent. And indifferent churn is much harder to fight. And look, the solution isn't abandoning subscriptions. That's not what I'm saying. It's stopping treating them as the entire business model in itself. I call this the Composite Monetization Framework. Not a single price, but a system of multiple layers where each layer captures value differently. Different types of value requires different pricing models. Access is different from usage. Usage is different from convenience. When you force everything into one monthly or annual subscription, it doesn't fit anyone. So instead, I want you to stack layers, each layer capturing value differently, each layer serving different users, each has its own pricing logic. Together, they create stability no single model can match. So let's talk about these layers. Layer number 1 is access. This is where subscriptions still make sense, but not for revenue maximization. Access pricing removes friction, low commitment, easy to start and easy to stop. The subscription exists to remove hesitation, not maximizing profit. It's permission to enter the system. Notion's free tier is extremely generous. You can build entire businesses on it. Are they losing money on the free tier? Short term, yes, but they're removing every objection to trying the product. The access layer is the hook. Other layers are where you make money, which is layer number 2. Usage. Pay when you actually use something. Credits, runs, exports, minutes, whatever maps to real activity. This aligns cost with value. People don't mind paying more when they see why. For example, OpenAI's API is where you pay per token. Twilio, you pay per message. AWS, you pay for compute time. Light users pay less, heavy users pay more. Everyone feels it's fair. Usage pricing reduces churn because people aren't paying for something they're not using. They're still in the system and they're paying for active value creation right now. Layer number 3 is speed and convenience. People pay surprising amounts to save time, reduce thinking, or skipping setup. Templates, shortcuts, pre-built workflows, even done-for-you setups or professional services. Notion templates sell for $50 to $200. Webflow templates are another revenue stream entirely. Zapier consultants get hundreds for automation setup. This layer captures value from people who think in time saved, not money spent. Layer number 4 is expansion. Let your best users go further. Advanced features, integrations, team access, higher limits. Not everyone needs this, and that is the point. You don't force it, you offer it when the need appears. Think about Linear, GitHub, and Superhuman. Base product is affordable, but when you're growing, you naturally upgrade. People at this layer are your best customers. They're getting real value, they're invested, and asking them to pay more doesn't feel like a tax. It's a natural progression. Layer number 5 is outcomes. Instead of charging for access or usage, charge based on results. Revenue generated, leads created, deals closed. This is hardest to implement, but incredibly powerful when it works. Affiliate platforms pay per conversion. Lead generation tools pay per qualified lead. Revenue sharing arrangements are something you could establish as well. The pricing conversation now shifts from, is this worth X dollars a month, to, is this making me more than it costs? Now let's talk about implementation. You do not need all 5 layers. Most businesses use 2 to 3 effectively. Just ask yourself, where does value actually get created? I'll give an example of the transcription tool. Layer 1 could be a free tier or $9 a month basic access. Layer 2 could be pay per minute beyond included limits. Layer 3 could be template workflows, hotkey configurations, export presets. Layer 4 would be team accounts, API access, and priority processing. Let's look at a marketing automation example. Layer 1 could be free for up to 500 contacts. Layer 2 would be pay per email sent. Layer 3 would be done for you campaign templates. Layer 4 would be advanced segmentation, A/B testing, and multi-user support. And Layer 5 would be revenue share on sales generated for the work done. Start with Layer 1, make entry easy, cheap, and affordable. Identify where power users get more value, and that's probably in Layer 2 or 3. Look at growing your customers, that's Layer 4. Don't build everything at once. Start with 2 layers, validate, and then add more. The companies that struggle over the next few years won't have bad software. They'll be forcing a single pricing model onto a world that's moved on. AI coding tools have democratized problem solving. Lifetime deal marketplaces have changed pricing psychology. Commoditized infrastructure has reduced the complexity that made subscriptions valuable. Subscriptions are not disappearing, but alone they're no longer enough. So here's what you need to do. Stop thinking about what pricing model to use. Start thinking about where value gets created, where effort gets removed, and where speed matters. Answer those clearly and pricing designs itself. You don't need to abandon subscriptions, just stop treating them as the entire business model. Build the layers, match them to value, and let customers pay in the way that makes sense for what they're actually getting. That's how you survive the next wave. My friend, control beats chaos and systems beat hustle, and composite pricing beats single model thinking every single time. If you found this video useful, make sure to give us a like and subscribe so you can see more content like this in the future.